Hi there and welcome to this video about if-else in youSRC and ELC. Previously we had a look at if statements and we realised that we've got this idea of an if statement and we have a condition, and the condition must evaluate to true or false. And what happens here is that we run the code inside of the curly brackets if the condition here evaluates to true. Well, in this situation here, I've got a magic number, and magic number is set equal to 7, and if the magic number is greater than 5, then we run this code. Well, what we're able to do is to sort of say, well, what happens if I wanted some code to run if magic number was less than or equal to 5? So I could do something like this. So well, it's just probably easier just to copy this. Okay, so less than or equal to 5, and I could do number is okay, so something along those lines. Now that would work, it'd work perfectly fine, but it just seems a little bit silly because we're already evaluating this to decide whether it's true or false. So there is a mechanism for us to say, well, what happens if this is false? So we're not having to write something else again, because if this is actually false, then we know that that our number is less than or equal to 5. So we have something called an else. Okay, and we can put it in like this, and it goes directly underneath the if. Okay, and we can put that in here. So number is less than or equal to 5 now. So what's actually happening here? Okay, well, first off, our code runs. Okay, we declare a variable called local number. We assign number 7 to it. Okay, and then we come along here and it says, right, well, if magic number is greater than 5, so it evaluates this condition, okay, which in this case it finds true because it is greater than 7. So it runs this code here. Once it's run that code, it completely ignores the else and jumps down to here. Okay, because it can only run one or the other. It can never run neither, and it can never run both. Okay, so it's just one or the other. So that's how that's worked. Now, if this was the case, let's say I put let magic number equal 3. Okay, so in this situation, magic number, if magic number is greater than 5, well, in this case, that's false. So because it's false, it ignores this code here, because it can only do this if it's true, and it jumps down to the else, which it does if it's false. And so it runs this code. Okay, so let's just sort of see this in action. Okay, so it says number is less than or equal to 5. So because it's 3. Okay, if we edit the source and change the variable to, I don't know, 6. Number is greater than 5. So what this actually does then is it allows us to make a decision in our program and cover more than one possibility. So rather than just if the magic number was greater than 5, we're now saying, well, if it is, do this, and if it isn't, do that. So our program is making, if you like, more of a decision. And another key point to mention is that we don't ever have to do anything like this. Okay, because else is linked to the if. So we have one condition that covers both things. Okay, so the condition evaluates to true or false, this if it's true, this if it's false. Okay, we don't have to do any condition for the else statement. The condition for the else statement is the same one that's used for the if. Alright, so that's how we do if-else statements in youSource and ELC.